The second major step of excretion is urine formation. Urine formation is also known as uropoiesis. The process of urine formation is completed in 3 steps: glomerular filtration, selective reabsorption, and tubular secretion. Glomerular filtration, as we have seen, what is glomerulus? The first part of nephron, which consists of, this is the Bowman's capsule, the blood vessel which is bringing in oxygenated blood is afferent arteriole, which is bringing in oxygenated blood, and the blood vessel which is taking out the deoxygenated blood, it is called efferent arteriole. And we know that afferent arteriole plus efferent arteriole, they are called glomerulus. And this is the Bowman's capsule. Blood is entering. You can see the diameter of afferent arteriole is greater than the diameter of efferent arteriole. The blood vessel which is bringing in blood has wider diameter than the blood vessel which is taking away the deoxygenated blood. It means more blood is entering the nephron and less blood is leaving the nephron, as a result of which a pressure develops inside this glomerulus, and that pressure is called glomerular filtration pressure, which is approximately equal to 75 mm of Hg. Means this glomerulus exerts this pressure on Bowman's capsule, that is glomerular filtration pressure exerted by the glomerulus on Bowman's capsule, which is equal to 75 mm of Hg. This pressure is opposed by two pressures inside Bowman's capsule. These are the osmotic pressure and the hydrostatic pressure. Osmotic pressure is because of the plasma proteins in the glomerular capillaries, and hydrostatic pressure is the fluid which is hydrostatic pressure is because of the fluid which is present inside these tubules. So this glomerular filtration pressure is opposed by two pressures: osmotic pressure, which is 30 mm of Hg, and hydrostatic pressure, that is 20 mm of Hg. Glomerular filtration pressure is in this direction and these two pressures are in this direction. So the ultimate filtration pressure, that is net filtration pressure, becomes this 75 minus these two pressures, that is 75 minus 30 plus 20 equal to 25 mm of Hg, यानी कि net filtration pressure becomes 25 mm of Hg, and because of this filtration pressure the blood gets filtered into the Bowman's capsule, and the everything, almost all the substances from the blood, they can get filtered except the blood corpuscles, and the filtrate which enters inside the Bowman's capsule is called ultrafiltrate, and this process is called ultrafiltration. And ultrafiltrate contains, what is present in this ultrafiltrate? It contains sodium ions, potassium ions, chloride ions, glucose, amino acids, and there are present nitrogenous waste. Nitrogenous waste कौन कौन से हैं? They are urea, uric acid, and creatinine, ketone bodies, and there is present excess of water, and the blood is left with the corpuscles and plasma proteins like albumin and globulin. This is the first step, glomerular filtration pressure. Next is selective reabsorption. Now this is the diagram of nephron and the blood vessel. I have shown like this. In the ultrafiltrate there may be present several substances which are still useful to the body. They are reabsorbed back into the blood. कैसे? The bicarbonate ions, glucose, amino acids, sodium ions, potassium ions and chloride ions. When they pass through this proximal convoluted tubule, they are reabsorbed back into the blood by active transport. Active transport from a region of their lower concentration to higher concentration by use of energy. Chloride ions only, they are transported by passive transport, that is from region of higher concentration to lower without expenditure of energy. Now the loop of Henle has two limbs. This is the descending limb and this is the ascending limb. Descending going in the downward direction, ascending going in the upward direction. Now the descending limb is further, you can see it is divided into the wider region and then the narrower region, and in the ascending limb we have the narrower region first and then the wider region. These regions are specific, means this wider region of descending limb, it is impermeable to ions, urea and water. Means ions, urea and water, they cannot enter and leave through this region. But this narrower region of descending limb is permeable to water, means water can enter and leave through this region. As we move to this region, that is the narrower limb of ascending loop of Henle, it is impermeable to water, but it is permeable to sodium ions, potassium ions and chloride ions. Means water cannot enter and leave through this, but sodium ions, potassium ions and chloride ions, they can enter. And the wider region of loop of Henle is जो ascending limb में, it is permeable to sodium ions and chloride ions but not to water. And this is the distal convoluted tubule. We can see water is absorbed back into the blood by the process of osmosis. Sodium ions, they can leave by the process of active transport and they can enter inside the blood. Ammonium ions, potassium ions and hydrogen ions from the interstitial fluid. ये जो space है बीच में present between the nephron, that is the interstitial fluid. These harmful substances, not harmful if they are not required by the body, they are absorbed into the blood. This is the second step, that is the selective reabsorption, and then is the tubular secretion. Tubular secretion includes, that is the blood gets filtered from distal convoluted tubule, it enters into collecting duct, from collecting duct it enters into the renal medulla, from renal medulla it goes to minor calyx, to major calyx, to pelvis, then it enters the ureter and it is stored in, from ureter it will go into the urinary bladder and that it will stored inside the urinary bladder. And when it becomes more than half filled, it is released into the, a message is sent to the brain and sensation of urine is felt and then urine is excreted outside the body, and this process is called micturition.